Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Offset here, and I want to thank everyone who welcomed me back so warmly last week for my first hashtag Friday Sews. I am so happy to be part of this community. Show me a lot of love and support. I want to thank you guys who've been there with me. Thank you so much for my new subscribers. I'm just hoping to continue on with this journey. So let's get into it. I did ask last week, I'm sitting here uncrossing my legs. I should know better. Whew. I did ask last week, I talked last week about my Make 9 was going to be based on Mimi Jean patterns. And I did have two people chime in with their suggestions. One was Michelle of Michelle Sews Again. And you guys, Michelle, I gotta come over to your channel. But darling, your hair color is gorgeous. It's stunning. And the other person was Marty, who is like, she's there for me. Marty gave me more than one suggestion. So let's begin with what Michelle has suggested. Let's see. I've got some fabrics here too. So I have not gotten a total of 9 suggestions yet. That's still open. Hopefully I'll remember this time to put a link to everything that I'm talking about today. And again, I'm talking a lot with my hands. So Michelle has suggested, wow, look at that glare. Okay, let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. Michelle had suggested this Mimi G pattern, S9114, and basically the duster jacket. You guys are familiar with this. Fatmata over at Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Arts, she created a beautiful rendition of this. And when I saw this recommendation from Michelle, a piece of fabric that I had, you could actually see part of it right there, came to mind. So I am thinking, of course, I'm going to use Ankara because I got a ton of it. She's teal, she's brown, she's orange. What do you guys think? I think that'll work. Yeah, okay. So 1 out of 9. Look at that. We're doing the thing. And Marty, as you know, she's my friend, so we always got to do extra. Marty suggested 4 patterns. She suggested this dress, Simplicity 9463. And I have been looking at it, but I need to do some alterations. When I do this, if I choose to do this, well, I will need to lengthen it. You can see I scribbled there, and eliminate the cargo pockets. You can see them. Okay, that's better. You can see the cargo pockets right there. I think what I'll probably do is inseam pockets or slash pockets. She also suggested this one, which is pretty much a no-brainer. Again, Mama needs some length. I need a little bit more length. I would do that. She suggested this suit pattern. Now, I'm not really a fan of cropped, full pleated, tapered pants. I would prefer my trousers to be full length and wide leg. I just prefer a wide leg trouser or a very narrow leg. So I would eliminate the pleats altogether and just make it totally straight if I was to do that. And she suggested this jumpsuit, which I have thought about actually doing in white. So what I have chosen to do, to begin with is this one. And I had this fabric, which is, I guess you could say it's a rayon viscose. I don't know. I don't know where I got this from. I don't remember. Might have been Minerva a couple of years ago. You know, because we have a tendency to follow what's on the pattern. And I love a leopard print. I love an animal print. Like that whole shelf right there. That's animal print. Still sticking with the animal print theme. Let's try. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Or that. I'm actually leaning more towards this simply because it's unusual, it's different. I know it's different. Anyway, so let's think about that. 2 out of the 9, which is fantastic. Of course, this will be one of my ankaras. I'm just not sure which one. I'm going to maybe spend the week looking for that. And of course, white. I'm looking for possibly a white ponte knit. I think I'm going to lengthen the sleeve and make it full length. Or I might make it a bishop sleeve. Just thinking. At first I thought these were godets inserted in here, but they're not. They're actually pleated, because if they were godets, I would love to put a piece of contrasting fabric in there. And of course with this, as I said, I think I'm going to make the pants either wide leg or totally straight leg, but I'm going to remove the pleats. Take that out of there. I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, the fabric I'm going to use. And the other thing I'm going to do, now I'm not saying I'm doing these, oh, words, wow. I have my pile of UFOs to finish. I want to do those. And it is Black History Month. And Black History Month Pattern Designers is a feature from Natita of So Natural Dame. And oh my goodness, Tea of Crumpets Tea and Sewing. And I'm sure Crystal of Crystal Sews and stuff. I'll put a hashtag to that. I do have a couple of patterns from way back in the day that I think I'm going to pull out. I have one from Willie Smith and Stephen Burrows. Maybe I'll see what I'll do with those. But in the meantime, to get my juices flowing, I'm thinking I was just going to start Rebecca of Tribeca. That's my sister in another city. I'm serious. Like, I love her. I love her vibe. I love her energy. I love everything about her. She said, she suggested that I start with something simple to get things kick-started. So, I am going to do a kimono jacket because I am inspired by this outfit. It's a kimono. I'll show it to you plain. Is it a kimono or an oversized sweater? Well, we shall see. Now, what inspires me are the colors. The burgundy or the rusty brown and all those. So I, of course, found a piece of, of Ankara that sort of emulates that. So I'm going to use this to make a kimono style overcoat, outer covering, and it will work with the blacks and the browns and the burgundies and the tans that I have in my wardrobe, or will have in my wardrobe. It will be less boudoir and more bedroom. Oh my goodness. No, 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 no. Less boudoir and more boardroom. Even though I'm not in a boardroom, but you know what I mean. It would look less a bathrobe and more like an intentional overcoat. Now, last week, so let me go back to that. I'm sorry, I am exhausted. But I want to stick with doing the Friday sews. And when you guys see this, it's already late. So I want to build up consistency. I'm going to use a pattern similar to this. Of course, you know, I would lengthen it. I've got several kimono patterns. I want to lengthen it as long as I can. I don't know if I'm going to cut the fabric. You know, it's 45 inches wide. I'm 5'6". If I turn it this way, like this is the full length of the fabric. If I turn it this way, then it comes down to my ankle. Not quite floor length, but I'm going to have to see. But that seems to be the way that I like the pattern running, as opposed to this way. Yeah, I'll see when I open it up and lay it out. You know, that's the thing with Ankara. The beauty of the design tends to run on the short side of the fabric, as opposed to on the full, you know, the full length, the full 6 yards. So as I said, I would use something like this, in this style, make it as long as I can. Of course, I'm going to put pockets on it. I'm not sure, I might put insert pockets, or maybe I'll make patch pockets. That means I'll have to match, a pattern match. You know, I don't like my pockets just slapped on. So we'll see. That's going to be my project for this month. I'm aiming for a project. So last time when I talked to you guys, I mentioned that people tend to donate things to me. And I mentioned my friend who, well, an associate, whose grandfather used to be a haberdasher, for lack of a better term, maybe a tailor and such. And she had these things and didn't know what to do with them. I got something else. Hold on. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes. I was telling you about some of the things that my friend's grandfather had and the things that she gave me. And a lot of it was good tailor's chalk, meaning it was like it's a combination. I wish I could, I'm not going to pause again to go out and grab some. But she gave me a box like this size full of that chalk. It's chalk. It's like a combination of chalk and wax, meaning the marks disappear with heat, but they stay on. You know, they don't rub off. And the chalk pieces, I call them little cookies. You know, they don't break up or crumble or break off and all of that. You know, they're just beautiful texture to work with. She also gave me this rule. I'm going to call it a rule. It looks like a yardstick, but it goes up to, see that? 39 inches. I should look that up what that means, but I don't know. It's that. Can you see this? These are sew on. Oh, let me show you. I got some other things I'm going to show you here. Let me turn this way. Oh, we're just not going to work. Let's do this. Off you go. These are sew-on studs. Let me see. Like that. I don't know if you can see that. They look like studs, but they are actually buttons. They have shanks on the back. Probably a little difficult to see. Different sizes in gold and silver. I can't even imagine sewing on all of these, but I got a lot of them. A lot of them. This whole box is full of these stud things. Stud buttons. Speaking of buttons, I love that the boxes that they came in, look at that. Dolphin blue. And I think buttons used to be made and then sold by weight. And then you buy them like that. So these are a box of like basic. They're plastic, but oh my gosh. Look how many, right? That, what brought things to my mind was I was watching, her name is Nicole, and she talked about needing a 1/4-inch snap. And this box is full of snaps. Well, almost full. These are a 1/4-inch in size. Let's see. I'm a mess today. Okay, get it together, girl. All right, so can you see those? They are about the size of an aspirin, maybe? 1/4 inch. I'm hoping you can see those. I don't know. I'm recording from my laptop. I don't believe in editing. Well, I don't have time to edit. Maybe I'll find the time one of these days. Maybe I'll put that on my list of things to do for 2023. You know, towards the end. Learn how to edit so I can insert pictures and music and all that stuff that I so appreciate the rest of you guys doing for me. Now, speaking of buttons, I was watching Talisha a few months ago, and I think it might have been when she made her blouse for the Elevate Your Ankara, talking about, or maybe it wasn't that, maybe it was another. Anyway, she talked about needing a crazy amount of buttons for her project and how expensive they were. And I'm so naive, I have not bought a button in years. I have not bought a button in years. I have bags of buttons that I have inherited. Like, oh my gosh, it's insane. So, if you need a button, maybe send me a DM. I've got, you see, you can't see these. I wish I could show these to you much clearly. These are like what I call insignia buttons. Let me show you some of my favorites. These are like tortoiseshell. So we can pull one out here and show you. See that? Brown. And then I have some that are gray as well. I have a bag full of those. I have, let's see, these. You know, if you're making a shirt dress, oh, I don't know if you can see that clearly, but they're like an insignia button. Is that better? You can see that? See the insignia on there? I've got, these are probably about 1/2 inch, whole bag. These are items that were donated, given to me because people stopped sewing. I was looking at the prices, looking at some of the prices, like some of these, they're still on the cards. Look at that. You know, I, yeah, um, wow. These buttons remind me of, oh, this is another set of buttons that were kept in the plastic by the haberdasher, by weight. When I was growing up in New York, we used to go to Jamaica Avenue, and there was a, I guess you could say it must have been a department store called Gertz, and they carried patterns and buttons and zippers, and I would go in. Oh, and one of the other things I did was custom make belts. So I used to, when I was making my outfits, if I wanted a belt made, that's where I would go, drop it off with the fabric and everything like that. But they had those little drawers that you can pull out your buttons, choose your buttons, and I loved it. This one, when I look at this button, doesn't it remind me, doesn't it remind you of like a Girl Scout Samoa cookie? Look at that. Yeah. So if you're in need of a button, I don't know. You know, like I just took it for granted that buttons, I don't know if you can see the smiley faces. Can you see? Yeah, there you go. I'm going to donate these definitely to somebody. I will not be, I don't know. How about like buttons like this? Or here we are. Look at that blue. Look at that blue. Yeah? Nothing worse than a bag of buttons opening up. And that's exactly what just happened. Oh, these. Black and gold, 24 karat gold filled. Is that what it says? These were from my, yeah, gold plated, 24 karat gold plated. These are from a friend's mother who transitioned several years ago. She lived in Baltimore, and her daughter drove up and cleaned out the house. And I think the day when she was leaving, she called me up and she said, "All set. Everything is out of the house. They're coming to pick up stuff tomorrow. There's my mom's fabric and machines and everything." And oh my gosh, I'm telling you, oh, it was insane. The patterns, the wool, Italian wool serge fabrics. Like I saved what I could. You know, I had my son with me, so you know he was a passenger. He took up space, but I would have had more space. I try to have him ride on top of the car so I can get more stuff in there. But oh my gosh, it was insane. You know, so there's just so many. And then um, I bought buttons when I lived in Germany, and the currency was in Deutschmarks. I still have these. At the time, these buttons were, I just did the math, less than $1.40 for the pack. And buttons nowadays are just crazy, crazy, crazy. So one of the other things that I wanted to share with you before I go was um, these other treasures that were left to me as well. Um, Washing instructions, I guess, for a sweater and extra thread and a button. And then I want to show you look at the price. Look at the price. Oh, we started to go up in price here. Can you see the price on that? 29 cents. 10 cents. Some of the cards are almost full. Still, 10 cents. Okay? It's insane. And then, oh my gosh. These needle books that used to be sold at Woolworth. And they used to be sold for 59 cents. And then they went on sale for 27 cents. And I'm going to show you. This one is still, this one is not missing a needle. Not at all. Not missing a needle. They went on sale for 29 cents. This is another one that's almost complete. And then marked down to 29 cents. I said that, 27 cents. And then marked down even more. Can you see that? 16 cents. 16 cents. So that's my Friday sales. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm in awe of the treasures that I have that have been sitting around me and I haven't used, and I'm going to be putting them to good use. Let me know of any organizations that would take some of these donations. I'll do that, pass them on. Let me know if you need something, needles or buttons or something. I don't mind putting together a care package. Send me a DM, send me an email and say, hey, Osset, I'm looking for, or could you send, or I'd like to have, and I'll ship something to you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we have to do as a community. We spend our money on beautiful fabrics and, of course, patterns, which my Joann's never seems to have. But obviously, I have a ton of patterns. I really should not buy any, but Rebecca, if you're listening, I can't be like you. But I'm going to be more mindful about the patterns. Cherie, if you're listening as well, I'm going to be more mindful about the patterns that I do buy. I think I'm going to have to take it as a message from Spirit when I go to Joann's and the patterns aren't there, and not just one Joann, but I go to the next one. The patterns aren't there, then they're just not meant for me to have at that moment. Anyway, so hopefully next week when I join you guys for Friday Sews, I will have something that I have sewn. Until we meet again, take care, stay blessed, and give a loved one a hug. Bye.